Raceway and round 3 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, a series that has been dominated totally by Jim Richards, Mark Scaife and Nissan in particular. Well, to you Holden, Ford and BMW devotees hoping for something just a little different here today, your prayers have been answered. 4 times Australian champ Dick Johnson has pole position in the Ford Cosworth, and sharing the front row with him, Holden's Win Percy. What a race it promises to be. Not the happiest of days for Nissan yesterday. Some violent understeer problems. Here was Jimmy Richards in the morning session going straight ahead, tried to pull the car up. Then in the later session in the afternoon, Mark Scaife, talk about understeer and oversteer, Mark took it down to the sand trap in the bottom turn. Then this morning, of course, John Bowe blowing a turbo. A lot of work for the Dick Johnson team with their second car. It will start from the back of the field today. Dick off the front and John Bowe starting off the back line in company with Larry Perkins. But boy, really did cause a bushfire alert. We're ready to go racing round number 3 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Ford's Dick Johnson, Holden's Win Percy are about to go at it. And they're racing. Johnson, a beautiful start, and Mark Scaife down the outside in the Nissan. Jimmy Richards trying to get up there. Tony Longhurst was it on the inside, but it'll be Johnson into the first turn, and maybe that's Scaife up into second. Very, very tight running in the turn as they work their way up towards the S's, and it's Johnson. Mark Scaife up smartly, Win Percy, then Jimmy Richards. So Johnson's plan in this race is to get away from the pack and to do a pit stop on lap number 20. Running on softer compound tyres, he hopes he can spring a surprise on the Sierra set. And again, it's good afternoon to Neil Crompton, to Mark Osler.
Johnson here sprinting away, car 17. This is the plan, but look at Scaife, a fantastic start off the second row of the grid. Launched into second position. He's going to push Johnson hard, but look at Percy. Bogged down a little bit on the start as well, but he's right up there in third as they head down to the pit straight.
Here's Seaton coming down again, keeping the pressure on Tony Longhurst. There's Peter Brock, the 05 Mobile VN Commodore. We take Jim Richards' Nissan race cam, and we've also got a race cam riding with Peter Brock here today, so we believe we've got the front half of the field covered fairly well. Here Brocky doing a bit of heavy breathing there as he works the Commodore fairly hard, trying to stay in touch here with Glenn Seaton. Johnson still opening that gap just a little. Mark Scaife unable to run away from the clutches of Win Percy.
Fred Gibson said this morning that you know, they're very worried. They've been to Lakeside and tested, and the BMW is well and truly their match there. And I still think that we're going to see something pretty exciting from that little yellow car in the background there in the coming 40 minutes.
As he's getting a little closer to the tail of Jim Richards. Richards now sitting and making life fairly uncomfortable for one Win Percy as we take Nissan race car coming up through the S's, heading to the left-hander of the Shell sweeper. Johnson still, yeah, the gap looks about the same visually. There's not too much in it. But I think Jim is getting all over the tail now of Win Percy. May even dive to the inside here on the entrance to Cold Corner. Fairly close and just finds a little opening. Not much in it, let me tell you, but a beautiful pass there from Jimmy Richards.
Look at Longhurst.
And Longhurst is in this. And he comes ranging up on the outside. The V8's got a bit too much grunt to the top of the hill.
Gee, this is a pretty good
under brakes.
Here he comes, darts straight down the inside.
Win was able to cover the ground at the very last minute, but the BMW's braking performance is outstanding. Dick Johnson, you're working pretty hard at the wheel there as we take Dunlop race cam. Is the strategy going to work?
Oh, God only knows, mate. It's got more pops than a lollipop shop at the moment, but it's just a gamble, Mike. We're just going to see how it pans out in the end.
What did you hope to have over the 2 Nissans when you pull in for your pit stop?
Well, the way this thing's going at the moment, I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah? You have got to do a pit stop, Dick. There's no way you can go all the way?
No, mate, she's just sort of, you do this to me, Mike. I don't know how you do it.
I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, mate, I've given you the kiss of death again. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all right. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is, pal.
Well, you can see the advantage of race cam. No sooner talking to Dick Johnson and the engine's gone pop. Dick has gone to the pits. His chance of winning round 3 today have gone completely, and we now have a Nissan 1-2 set up with, of course, Win Percy chasing hard in the Holden number 16 VN Commodore. And we all suggest that maybe Tony Longhurst could be the sleeper in this race a little later on as he wears them down. And this dice continues between Brocky and Alan Jones. Jones going down on the inside to take that spot away.
Well, Peter's giving Alan heaps of room there. He probably realises that he's fighting a losing battle under brakes, but he's got what it takes in a straight line. Peter, there's been real difficulty trying to get this car to balance the way you want it to. You're making any progress?
I sort of want to Bondi a bit here, but I can't pressure him enough at the moment because, for instance, where I'm right now, if I accelerate too hard, the left-hand rear is just wants to skate out. Hello?
That doesn't sound too
Hello,
good.
we've just lost some power.
We'll let you go back to work. Well, that's Peter was looking across at the switching in the middle of the car, and where he's got a couple of alternative fuel pumps, and the thing just started to snatch and carry on. It's making a dreadful noise as it goes past our commentary point. So the first reaction for him to do then was to shut down the existing pump and switch another on. But maybe he's got more problems than just fuel pumps.
I'm glad we haven't got 10 race cams today. I think we've put the muckers on just about everyone so far that we talked to.
So the Nissans are still maintaining their consistency, and we've still got Jim Richards hard on the heels of Mark. But boy, Wynne is fighting one heck of a battle here at the moment, with Tony, who's monstering him left, right and centre in all the spots that you'd predict the BMW would be good. And then this happens, the 520 odd horsepower of the Holden leap away from the BMW in a straight line, and then back comes Tony again under brakes, and boy, doesn't he push it hard. Oh, and Percy runs wide.
How quick was that? Down the inside, look for Percy to come fighting back, but he won't get Longhurst before the next right-hander. That now pole vaults Tony Longhurst up into third behind the two Nissans, Scaife and Jimmy Richards. And that happened ever so quickly.
Sorry to interrupt, Mike. I got a feeling that Wynne's got a flat tyre or something of that nature. The car just looked very unstable when we could see that shot in the cockpit a few minutes ago. And wouldn't surprise me at all if Wynne had to make a pit stop.
Standing with me is Dick Johnson, and Dick, we seem to put the race cam kiss of death on you again. What happened to the 17 car?
Well, everything was going to plan there early in the race, and then the old engine's a bit tired. It really should have been changed before this race, but we had a couple of problems earlier in the week and we ran out of engine, so it ran a bit too long, and towards the end it just started getting worse and worse, and rather than just throw away $30,000, I thought I'd stop.
Okay, Dick Johnson, thanks very much. Not a good weekend for the Shell team, Mike.
No, certainly not, Mark, and we've noticed Wynne Percy come in. You might like to check that situation out. We thought he may have had a deflating tyre on the Holden in the last lap, and that's the reason he's in. But you can check that out for us as we follow the two Nissan GTRs.
It was very much a guesstimation on my part. You shouldn't speculate, I suppose, but there was certainly a real instability in the car, and it just...
he got him so quickly as well.
Yeah, the thing just wobbled and lurched, so the team are having a look under there at the moment. Not a lot of urgency, though, and I think Wynne's got his helmet off, so it's game, set and match for Holden race team. And Larry Perkins is also coming to the pits. Gee, you wouldn't want to be in a Holden today.
The order at this stage is still Nissan 1-2 with Tony Longhurst back in third, and I would think that Glenn Seaton and the Peter Jackson Sierra would be fourth, and probably Alan Jones up at the fifth spot.
And Brock's also decided to give the game away in the 05 car. It's astonishing because the strength of the Holden has always been unbelievable reliability, and suddenly this weekend, for no apparent reason, these cars are giving trouble. I think Larry's stop was merely for tyres, so the number 11 mobile car continues.
There certainly aren't any team orders as to who runs first and second. They race for it, and Jim was thinking about maybe a run down the inside, but the bottom turn coming up, last turn now, as they come out headed towards the checkered flag and chalk up another 1-2 to Nissan. This time it's Mark Scaife who takes the victory. Second place will go to Jimmy Richards, and back about 12 or 14 seconds behind them, Tony Longhurst in the Benson and Hedges BMW will be next in to pick up third place. His fourth will go to Glenn Seaton in the Peter Jackson Ford Sierra, and fifth to Alan Jones in the number 20 B&H car.
And the winner, the first time he's won an Australian Touring Car Championship round. Fabulous drive, Mark. Everybody was very pleased for you. You must be thrilled.
Thanks, Crombo. Yeah, it was very good. I'd just like to thank Nissan for their efforts, because the car doesn't suit the circuit overly well, and the boys worked very, very hard through the week to make it a good package, and the car was fantastic.
Mark Scaife, the winner of this third round, as I say, a tremendous effort.